Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Software Automation Experience. So in this video, I am going to explain you about what a mature JMeter test suite should contain. So to make it a proper test suite structure, and you can call it as a JMeter test suite framework, we need certain things to be the part of our test suite, so that we can integrate our test scripts easily and make it more compact and reusable. So for that, let us check out what are the things required. Okay, so the first thing we need is a proper source folder. We need a proper test source folder to make our JMeter test suite mature. So let me show you what a proper test source folder can contain. Okay, so it looks like this one. It should have all these things like uh, you can have output data folder, results folder, data test data, and then these things. So yeah, this is how source folder, JMeter test suite source folder looks like. So let me go and check what is the next thing we need. So next thing is a test plan file, that is a .jmx file is needed. So this is what it is, care source ci.jmx. We need this .jmx file for a JMeter test suite. Okay, and then the next thing is we need a config.properties file. So this is what is the config.properties file, so under which can contain all the configurations of the service. If you open this, you can see we have provided the configurations of the service, such as product name, and then the protocol and IP address of the service, port of the service, and different paths and other variables we can provide in this. Okay, so what is the next thing? The next thing is it should contain a test data folder from where the test suite is passed using which will be stored in different CSV files or JSON files. So let me go back and show you how a test data folder can be. We can have a test data folder in the source folder, and on opening it you can see I have these CSV files provided. You open it, it will be like it has some data, okay, in a CSV format. So this way I can provide the input test data to my test suite. Okay, let me close this and see what is the next thing. We need to have a output data folder to store data at the end of the test suite run. So this output data can be used for many other purposes in the next requests, in the subsequent requests, or in the next thread groups. We can make use of it. So this will look like this: output data and the data folder, inside which I have an output.csv file. You can write the output data into any of the file of your choice, not only CSV, you can write it into JSON files as well. So this is how my test output data has been written. Okay, so yeah, what is the next thing? So we need a results folder also to store our results. So as you can see, we have a results folder under which I am going to store my results. At the end of every run, the results are automatically getting stored in this folder. So I'll write my test suite in such a way that it should write the results in this folder only, and I'll come back and check the results here. Okay, so next thing we need is we can have a certificate folders as well if the service accepts any certificates to function, such as we can create certificate folder like this, and then we can pass it, we can keep certificate files here, and then we can pass to the test suite, using which the service can function and our test cases can be executed. Okay, so what is the next thing? We should have a logs file which can store logs of test suite execution. At the end of test suite results, we need to write these logs into any of the files. JMeter by default writes it into one of the files. You can also specify a file name and write the logs if you want. Okay, to check the execution logs, what and all has been loaded and where it has gone wrong, everything we can check in this logs file. Okay, so what is next? The next thing is we need to have a property file reader to store configurations. So this is inside the .jmx file. So let me open a .jmx file and show you guys what a .jmx file should contain. So if you open, if you can see, I have loaded JMeter and my already built test suite in the JMeter. So it can have a test plan, and then inside which we have a property file reader. So property file reader is nothing but which is used to provide the path which is used to stay our JMeter tool that I have stored all my configurations in this config.properties file and load those configurations from this file. Okay, this is very important to make our test suite more dynamic, and we can avoid hard coding of the values using this config.properties file. If you have any doubts on this, how to add this and all, you can check out my videos. I have a video created on this, so please check out in that video. I will provide a link in the description for each and everything. You can see here I have the videos available. Please go and check the videos given in the description if you want any help on this. Okay, so let me check what is the next thing we need. The next thing is a thread group to indicate the service name. Inside a JMX file we need to add a thread group. So how can we add it? By right clicking on test plan, we can go to threads and then we can add thread group. Okay, so this is a thread group, so where we can indicate it with the name of the service. Okay, and what is the next thing? So we need to add a simple controller inside it. So as you can see, I have added a simple controller and you can name it accordingly. So how to add it? Right click on the thread group, add, and go to logic controller. You have a simple controller option here, you can add it like this. Okay, and then what is the next thing? We need to have a transaction controller as well. So yeah, so how can we add it? So you can add a transaction controller by right clicking on this simple controller, add logical controller, and then transaction controller. Okay, so in this way in the transaction controller we can we have an advantage. If you select this checkbox, generate parent sample, it will appear in the test suite result, under which we can see our HTTP requests are listed. Otherwise, if we don't check this checkbox, you will find this HTTP request comes first, and then this transaction controller goes next to it, and then looking at the results you will get confused. So that it is very important to check this checkbox so that these what and all HTTP requests are under the transaction controller should go under it to maintain the proper structure. Okay, so what is the next thing? We need to have a CSV dataset config to fetch the test data. So this is a CSV dataset config, so which we use to fetch the test data. Whatever data we provide in the CSV file, we can fetch it to pass it to our test cases. Okay, so this is where we pass file name, and then these are the other conditions we can set to pass the CSV file, the data that is the test data file. Okay, and what is the next thing? We need to have HTTP request defaults to commonalize HTTP elements. So where it can go, I can add an HTTP request defaults like this. Go to add, and then right click on controller, go to add, and then I can add a config element. We have HTTP request defaults, and I can take it here, or I can take it post the CSV dataset config. I can define all the common HTTP request elements like protocol, server IP, and then port numbers. So what and all I pass in the HTTP request defaults. So this will be passed as part of each and every HTTP request under this tree. Okay, so I no need, if I pass HTTP protocol here, I no need to pass it in this request all the time. So suppose I have 100 requests here, so instead of writing it 100 times, I'll pass it only at one place, these values, and then those values will be passed to all the 100 HTTP requests. Okay, this way. What is the next thing? We need to have HTTP request. What is HTTP request? HTTP request is the main part of our test suite, so which can contain which can contain an actual request to hit the any of the service. Okay, so it can contain a protocol, IP, and then port number, and in the path and the HTTP request method to execute. And also it can contain different variables, and also it can contain if it's a post request, we need to add a body for this, so that can go here under the body data. Okay, so this way we need HTTP request as well. Next thing is we need some preprocessors to execute our HTTP request. Those can be a token generation file or a request body generator, anything. Okay, so as part of this, I can add the preprocessor. Click on add, go to preprocessor and add JSON 223 preprocessor. So this can be a token generator. I can write a script to generate a token for which is needed for this HTTP request to be executed. Okay, so I want to generate this token before I execute this request, hence it is called as preprocessor. Okay, and also I want to generate some request body, so add a preprocessor and name it as request body generator, and write the request body generating script here, so that it will generate the request body and it will be passed to the HTTP request. Okay, what is the next thing? Next is we need a post processor to extract things from the response and store for future use. Okay, so if you can see, I have added already the post processor. So from post processor will be used to read the response of the request and then do some analysis and do some operations, such as here what I'm doing is like I am just creating a CSV file and then writing some data into that CSV file post the test suite execution. Okay, so this way we can read the response of this HTTP request and pass various information we want, and we can store or we can make it useful for the subsequent request as well. Okay, so this way. Next thing is we need assertions to assert test case results. So it's a very important thing. We need certain types of assertions which can be executed once the HTTP request got executed, and which can be used to assert it and make sure that the HTTP request has passed or failed. Okay, so one thing is it's a response assertion. It can contain we can check using this response assertion, we can check the response code of the request, whatever is the response code we have got, and the response message, response headers, text response. So from the text response, what and all I want to check, if it is selected as response code and what is the code we are looking for, we can pass it here as part of this. Okay, and if it is not giving us 200, so in this case that will be the negative response, and in that case we can add a custom failure message of our choice here. Okay, we can see that care source is not healthy. Okay, anything we can add, and we can even check with pattern matching, like if you want to check it for contains or matches or equals or substring, anything for response message, response headers, everything we can check from. Okay, another kind of a response is a JSSR 223 assertion. Another kind of assertion is JSSR 223 assertion, so where you can write some Groovy scripting to check the response data. Okay, so here I'm reading the response using the prep functionality. So prep is an inbuilt function of Groovy, from where I can read the response, and then I'm checking if the response is not null and it contains a string called healthy, then I want my test case to be pass. Otherwise I want my test case to be failed, and I want this failure message to be displayed if the test case is not passed. So this way we need this type of assertions. Okay, so what is next? We need listeners to view test suite results. What is listener? So here you can see, as you can see, we have added listeners. So view results be as a listener where I want to see my test suite results. Okay, yeah. So these are the things, guys, we need to add for uh, a JMeter test suite to make it mature and a more compact and a useful test suite. So yeah, this looks like there are many components, but it is very easy and useful. Just give it a try. If you get any doubts or any uh, issues, please write into a comment. I'll try to resolve it. And yeah, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel Software Automation Experience, and do not forget to click on notification icon so that you will get the notification upfront whenever I post such videos. So till the next video, stay tuned, guys. Thank you.